Kurt Busch wins with the Jordan brand on the hood. Tires and lug nuts are once again an issue, and for the first time since 2015, Ford is nowhere to be found in the top 10. All that and more coming up next. What's going on, everybody? If I haven't earned your subscription, hopefully today is the day I will earn that subscription. All right, Kurt Busch gets his first win of the season, the first win for the 45 team out of 2311. Of course, Bubba Wallace won with 23 last year. The first win for Michael Jordan as the actual brand on the hood, and he is the first driver to win in a Chevy, Ford, Dodge, and now Toyota. So that is a really cool little trivia tidbit. But also, he is the 11th winner out of the first 14 races, I think. Yeah. Or so. So Kurt Busch makes a case for redemption, right? The story of Kurt Busch is redemption. If you look at his first two stops, he was run off. He was a champion at Roush. He got run off because of his personality. He was a champion at Penske. He got run off essentially for his personality. He got accused of something that wasn't accurate. NASCAR ran him out of the sport for a season. He came back driving lower tier equipment, but he kept on plugging. He kept on improving as a human being, and he kept on improving as a driver. And now in the later stages of his career, he is a guy that people want to bring in, right? There was a bid war. You know, Trackhouse wanted to keep him. They were looking at him, Kevin Harvick, and Ross Chastain. They ended up going with Chastain because Kurt Busch left and Harvick stayed. He is a guy that is actually wanted now, as where at the beginning of his career, he was a guy that got run off even though he won a championship. And he made mistakes, but he got better and he improved as a person. And that's why, you know, I don't like all this, this guy messed up, kick him out of the sport forever, cancel this, cancel that. I'm not a big fan of that type of culture. I think forgiveness is a big deal, and Kurt Busch is a prime shining example. So it was a good day for 2311. Or was it? I say that because 2311, even though they won the race and Bubba Wallace finished 10th, they got both cars in the top 10. Bubba Wallace probably should have been 5th or better. But once again, they had problems on pit road, and it wasn't just the 23 car where they lost a tire, and then Denny Hamlin even tweeted that on the last pit stop, Bubba Wallace's team messed up again, and he said also that they would be going over how the pit stops are done, and they would be doing them differently in the future. But they also cost Kurt Busch spots on pit road. He obviously, that last pit stop cost him 2 spots where Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson came out in front of him. Pit road continues to be a problem. In fact, I can't think of a race this season where the 45 or the 23 haven't had some type of issue on pit road. So they really need to clean that up. As good as they were today, car speed-wise, setup-wise, they really have to work on the pit stops. Speaking of pit stops, that was once again an issue, the tires and lug nuts. 2 cars had lug nut issues. Kyle Larson lost 9 spots on a lug nut that wouldn't come off, and Eric Jones lost 7 laps on a lug nut that was absolutely glued on, like would not come off. They had to end up cutting it off with a concrete saw, so that was pretty interesting. That has happened before in F1. If a lot of people, I don't know if you watch F1 or not, but Valtteri Bottas, not Bottas, Valtteri Bottas, he had a wheel when he was driving for Mercedes stick on, and they never could get it off. They actually had to retire the car in that particular race. So this is not unique to NASCAR. This one lug nut situation has its problems. And so once again, the tires and lug nuts changed the complexion of this race completely. Several of your leaders lost a left rear tire, so you never really knew who was the fastest car until the very end, where it looked like Kurt Busch just had the setup, had the field covered. He even looked like he was super relaxed starting third on that last restart because he knew his car would come to him. But once again, the tires played a role in this, and going forward, I don't want tires to play a role in these teams' hard work preparing these cars. It shouldn't come down to whose tires are going to stay together, whose lug nuts are going to come off. So NASCAR has work to do here, and I know I harp on it almost every weekend, but it was egregious today. Tires and lug nuts were definitely a huge part of the story. And for the first time since 2015, a Ford did not finish in the top 10. That is just not good. I think NASCAR took too much away from them right before the Daytona 500. I think that has really affected Ford's performance this entire season. No Ford finished in the top 10, and only one Ford driver that I can think of led a lap, and that was Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney led one lap. So for the first time since 2015, there's no Ford in the top 10. Austin Cindric, I think, leads the charge at P11 for Ford. So bad day for Ford. They missed the setup, and they've been off all season because, once again, I think NASCAR really messed them up when they, right before the season started, changed the nose of the car. So all the research they had done, all the planning and simulation work they had done with that nose was out the window, and they're going to be playing catch up until at least midway through the season. Kurt Busch, of course, wins. Kyle Larson is second. Kyle Busch third. Denny Hamlin fourth. His first top 10, second top 10 of the season other than his win. Christopher Bell has been on fire. He is fifth, and sixth is Martin Truex. So there you go, five Toyotas in the top six. It would have been 6 Toyotas in the top 7 if Bubba Wallace's crew had helped him out. Ross Chastain continues to be on fire at P7. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., another good weekend in a row for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., finishes 8th. Alex Bowman 9th. And, of course, Bubba Wallace finished 10th. All right, now on to bad race. Of course, Eric Jones. Eric Jones had a solid top 15 going, and, well, the lug nut wouldn't come off. Chase Elliott lost that tire. He never recovered. I think he finished somewhere around 29th. And Tyler Reddick led parts of this race. But he lost the tire too, and then he hit the wall a bunch of times. Never could recover. I didn't have the luck of Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, I think, hit the wall 5 times and still somehow managed to finish second. So that was, as bad as the tires are, I think we can say something about the new body of the car. So at least the body held up. So there are good things about this new car, but the tires and the rim and the one lug nut are not one of them. All right, if you made it this far, feel free to subscribe down below. If you got a question, leave it down in the comment section. I'll try to get to as many as possible. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.